Good afternoon, everyone. Shalom. I'm Shosh Bedrosian, Communications Specialist for the National Public Diplomacy Directorate. I'll take a few questions after a couple of very brief points to share with you today. Please put your questions in the chat of the Zoom with your name and your outlet, of course. It is Thursday, November 20th, and today is the Ethiopian Jewish Festival of Sigd here in Israel. On this day, we salute our Ethiopian Jewish brothers and sisters. They are amongst the best of us. From member of Knesset Sega Melaku, shaping our democracy, to the heroic soldiers of the Ethiopian community who have fought and fallen for our country, their contribution is woven into the fabric of Israel. This is a community that walked across deserts, risked everything, and lost loved ones on the long journey back home. A journey powered by their unbreakable faith in Jerusalem and in the destiny of the Jewish people. Sigd is a day of unity and of our shared mission as one nation. The Prime Minister conveyed Israel's deep pride in this extraordinary community and paid tribute to their sacrifice, their courage, and their devotion to a strengthened Israel. Ethiopian Jews enrich our society and inspire us all. We wish you a joyous and meaningful Sigd. Next, today marks day 776 since Hamas decided to launch a brutal war against us, massacring our people and kidnapping them into the depths of hell of Gaza. These terrorists are still holding the remains of 3 of our hostages. 3 hostages who were alive on the morning of October 7th and killed by Hamas terrorists. 3 hostages who have families waiting for them to be returned home for a proper burial. 3 hostages Hamas continues to violate the ceasefire plan with, as they were supposed to come home more than 1 month ago. The Prime Minister will not give in and will not back down from achieving our commitments, and this is bringing all of our hostages back home. The courageous testimonies of our released living hostages is painstaking and heartbreaking to hear, but it sheds a light on the wickedness our people endured for 2 years in hell in Hamas captivity. Although their testimonies won't end up on headlines on the BBC and the Associated Press because it does not fit the anti-Israel narrative they push out on a daily basis, it is our duty to remind you of their stories, and so when everyone else forgets the history of this war and the hatred Hamas holds for the Jewish people, this can be your reminder. I point you to the partial interview that was released of former hostage Guy Gilboa Dalal, who is revealing for the first time publicly the horrific sexual abuse he endured while in Hamas captivity. Now, specifically, the 24-year-old detailed a moment when this type of abuse actually took place during his time in captivity. There are no bounds for Hamas's evilness, and we will not stop reminding the world of who they are, who Hamas is, and what they are capable of, and what they want to repeat. Meanwhile, Hamas is continuing to violate the ceasefire in place. On Wednesday, the IDF observed terrorists crossing over the yellow line and approaching our soldiers once again, posing an immediate threat to them. In response, following identification, the IDF struck and eliminated them to remove the threat. And again on Wednesday, several terrorists opened fire in an area where our IDF soldiers were operating in Khan Yunis. Now, in response to this violation of the ceasefire in place and to defend our troops, the IDF began striking Hamas terror targets across the Gaza Strip. Israel made the decision independently to conduct these airstrikes and did not ask for permission to protect ourselves and our people. Also, within the Yellow Line, IDF forces have been locating and dismantling terror infrastructure that's been used by terror organizations inside of Gaza. And specifically, the IDF located an 8-tube rocket launcher with 4 rockets inside of it, which was aimed towards Israeli territory. Under this ceasefire, the IDF will continue to clear the area, remove any threat, and destroy terror infrastructure. Also on Wednesday, Prime Minister Netanyahu visited the established buffer zone in Syria, where he went to an IDF post and thanked our heroic soldiers for all of their efforts over the last 2 years. Now, many of these soldiers have done multiple rotations in the reserve since October 7th. The Prime Minister explained the importance of our capabilities inside of this buffer zone while safeguarding our Druze brothers and the State of Israel and its northern border. The Prime Minister has made it clear that we are watching Syria with our eyes wide open and are observing what is actually being implemented on the ground, not just what is being said. The Prime Minister insists that a security arrangement must include the demilitarization of southern Syria and offers permanent protection for our Druze brothers and sisters. I would also like to point you to the announcement our office released about the close cooperation between the Mossad and intelligence and law enforcement agencies in Europe, which has led to the seizure of weapons caches and the arrest of terrorists in Europe as well. These terrorist infrastructures were built by Hamas to carry out attacks against Israeli and Jewish targets. The announcement specifically mentions the cooperation between law enforcement in Germany and Austria, which led to complex counter-terrorism operations and resulting in arrests of terrorists and the discovery of weapons caches. The investigation into the Hamas terror network in Europe is currently also examining the possible involvement of Hamas elements in Turkey in promoting the intention to carry out attacks, some which have already been exposed. This is because Turkey is an operational arena for Hamas operatives in the past and in the present. Mossad and its partners in the Israeli and global intelligence communities will continue to work together to thwart terrorism against Israelis, Jews, and innocent people around the world. I'll now take a few questions. Okay, so the first question is from Alex Cornwell from Reuters. This week, the Crown Prince, Saudi Arabia, at the White House wanted to be part of the Abraham Accords. He also said he wants a clear path to a two-state solution with Palestinian independence. Does the Prime Minister's position remain that he is against Palestinian statehood, even if this could lead to normalization with Saudi Arabia? What is the Israeli government's position on the U.S. sale of F-35 fighter jets to Saudi Arabia? How does Israel assess the implications for its qualitative military edge and overall national security? So specifically on that, the Prime Minister and the President and the United States and Israel have a long-standing understanding, which is that Israel maintains the qualitative edge when it comes to its defense. That has been true yesterday, that has been true today, and the Prime Minister believes that will be true tomorrow and in the future, of course. Just continuing to read these questions here. Comments on Mossad findings and arrests of Hamas operatives in Europe and accusations of Hamas stockpiling weapons abroad. So I refer you back to that statement that I just read, and where you can get some more information on that. Now, Iran and its proxies continue to build infrastructure and promote dozens of terrorist routes around the world. And the announcement that came out, this revelation, actually proves that Hamas is building terrorist infrastructure in Europe and even under the direct guidance of the leadership based in Qatar. Okay, still waiting for a few more questions to come in. Okay, well, if those are all the questions that we have today, we could end this briefing. As always, you can reach out to the Prime Minister's office for more questions when you have them, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. Thanks so much for joining today.